Are you ready to know about a fantastic non-fiction book? If yes, then keep watching this video. Hi there, I am Manpreet. I make book-related videos on this channel. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe, follow me on my social media and turn your notifications on so that you get notified every time I post a new video. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about the lessons I learned from Big Billion Startup. What is this book? What is it about? How is it like? You will find out in this video. So, Big Billion Startup has been written by Mihir Dalal, who is a journalist and who has been following the startup scene in India for quite a long time. So, he thought of writing this story discussing the rise of India's biggest startup, Flipkart. So, he begins from when the Flipkart founders were not even together. He begins from their college days, how were they like, how they came together, what did they do after they finished their college. Both of them were IITians. How these two people actually met, because a lot of people think that Sachin and Binny Bansal, even I used to believe it at a time, that they are brothers. They are actually not. They are from the same college, but they are not even batchmates. So yes, that is that. There are a lot of things that you might have believed about Flipkart or you might have heard about Flipkart, and this book just puts all of the information together in a very nicely written manner. So Mihir Dalal talks about these two people, how they met, how they thought of this startup Flipkart, and how was their journey of becoming this big startup that has been eventually bought by Walmart in one of the biggest acquisitions in the startup scene all around the world. Really, the author goes into minute details talking about the sales, the people that came in, how they made a change in this organization, how this organization was run, the rise and fall of the founders in various different ways at various different moments, and the author just talks about all of it, which was so enlightening to read in the first place. I mean, this video is really about the lessons I learned from this book, but even if I hadn't learned those lessons, I would say that it was still such an enlightening read, because I got to know so much about an e-commerce startup, or how is it run, or how Flipkart itself was run. So I really liked this book, and now I would like to tell you about some of the things that really touched my heart, some of the things that really made me feel like this book was really worth it. Some of the lessons that I learned from Big Billion Startup, the Untold Flipkart story. So in the beginning of the book, when the author talks about their college lives and how Sachin and Binny Bansal were in their college, the author says this: the people who truly excelled were the average students, nearly anonymous in college. Okay, I was not a very average student in college, okay? I scored in 80s, and 80s according to my college was good. But I have been through that experience of being an average student. And when you're an average student, when you're struggling with your studies, everybody, your friends, your professors, your parents, everybody around you try to make you think that you will end up doing nothing. Instead of giving you the courage and giving you the confidence to rise up, they really put you down. Honestly, they pull you down. And I feel like this phrase would really resonate with a lot of people who have felt that way, who need that experience and who need to know this, that the people who truly excel are not the ones who always do great in college. You might not do so great in college, but you still can be a billionaire, a millionaire, an awesome person. Do you know that Sachin and Binny Bansal, both of them, actually worked in Amazon first? Now, if you don't know about this, Amazon and Flipkart are the biggest competitors in this space, in the e-commerce space. They have this cutthroat competition going on, and they're always trying to get ahead of one another. What a lot of people do not know is that Amazon could have killed Flipkart even before it started. But what happened was two things. One, Amazon got late. The founder of Amazon didn't believe that India was a big enough market as an e-commerce space, and they got late. And now they're paying for that mistake by having a competitor named Flipkart. And secondly, they really bored their employees. They would have stayed their employees if they had loved their job, but eventually they got bored while working with Amazon. So this company really shooed them away and did a great harm to their own selves. So it's a lesson for business owners to never ever bore your employees, value your employees more than you value anything else. The third lesson is something that I already knew, and it's just, it felt good to read this because I feel so. It says, if you are a banya or have a banya friend, you have better chances for entrepreneurial success. Now, I would say banya is a very generalized term, okay? In actual, it just means to signify that banyas, or the people who already have a business acumen because of their family, they have better chances of being successful. It's because they have better support system, they have better company around them that can advise them on doing a business. Now this really resonated with me because I am a person who is into a digital marketing business, okay, and I'm trying to work on it and grow this business. While I understand that really hard for me because I have nobody around me who knows even ABCD of running a business. It's because everybody around me is in government services, or my parent was a government officer. Everybody I know is in the service industry. They are not businessmen. So I get no support in that sense. And it says that people who do get that support have to struggle a little bit less. Obviously, they have their own kind of struggles, but at least they have the company and the support system, at least a little bit. For example, do you know that there were actually 3 people who started Flipkart, just like there were 3 people who started Apple, and eventually there were only 2 founders of Apple? What happened was that they brought in this third person. This third person went to his family and said that I'm leaving my high-paying job, highly reputed job that you can brag about to everybody, and I'm starting this book-selling business. The family of this guy was furious. The family of this guy was like, no, you cannot do that. You are of a marriageable age. We cannot let you leave your job and start a book-selling business. Eventually, the pressure the family put onto this person made him quit Flipkart in the early stages of this company, in the very early stages of this company, or like, let's just say, even before it was actually a company. Of course, there are more reasons why the author puts this point forward in the book, because a lot of help was given to Sachin and Binny Bansal by Sachin's businessman father in the early stages of their startup. Help in form of actual help, or even in form of advice. So that really helps. Personally, I would say you cannot really decide in which family you are born in, but you can decide who are the people you want to hang out with. If you hang out with the kind of people who are into business or are inclined towards entrepreneurship, you can have an edge over there because of this, because of your company. That is my personal belief, and it was just strengthened with this book. Another lesson that I learned from Big Billion Startup is sometimes insult is the biggest confidence booster you can have. Really, when Flipkart started and it was doing moderately well, but it was not doing so well, this founder of another company approached Flipkart's founder and actually convinced them to sell this company for pennies. And they were ready to do it. They got saved because they got insulted a lot. They felt really insulted when this founder of the company offered them a very meager salary to now be his employees because he was buying their company. So they felt really insulted and they said no. And because of that, they got that confidence to continue doing this. They wanted to continue doing this, and eventually this became the Flipkart instead of just a site that sold books. Another lesson: next time someone calls you a copycat, when you're really just doing your own thing, ask them to show you how it's done. I have some people who come to me, tell me that I copied this specific person when my video was made first. And believe it or not, no matter how much people say, no matter how much I pretend like it doesn't matter to me, I don't care, hate comments do not impact me, they impact everybody. The level of impact might be different, but they impact everybody. And I definitely feel like now that hurt factor would be reduced a lot when somebody calls me a copycat, because what you really have to say is that, हाँ ठीक है, तू करके बता दे. That's exactly what Sachin, Flipkart's then CEO and founder, said to somebody who said he was copying Amazon. Basically, they were always blamed for being the copycat of Amazon. But the truth is, when you continue reading this book and when you really try to put logic to this whole thing, the reason why Amazon got late or Amazon struggled when it came to India as an e-commerce company is because even though they copied that idea, they might have copied that idea of selling books and then eventually expanding into selling other things. They really found their own way to do it. That's not called copying, that's called being inspired by something. Now the lines here are very blurred, so your haters would really want to attack you with this line. So if it ever happens to you, really you have to say that, हाँ ठीक है, तू करके बता दे. Now when you read this book, you will find mentions of several different startups because the author really goes into sort of like a study research mode about what made these people become entrepreneurs, what made these specific set of IITians and Amazon employees go the entrepreneurial route. So you will find mentions of various different startups. You will also find mentions of the rivals, Myntra, Snapdeal, Amazon. One very important thing that I learned from this book was one must never be afraid to change, because Snapdeal was earlier a coupon site and Myntra was a gift selling site. I didn't even know that. It was a personalized gift selling site. And then it became this big giant brand that sold clothes. Such a big change, and we, like a person like me, would be so afraid to try a different sort of niche on this channel. I don't want to do it, but even if I wanted to try, I know it would be so difficult for me. I would be so afraid to change. But why be afraid to change when Snapdeal was earlier a coupon site and Myntra was a personalized gift selling site? Look how successful they got after they changed. So never be afraid to change. I think the next lesson that I learned from Big Billion Startup is something you will learn from all the books that have ever been written about these new kind of startups. Honestly, every new idea is initially ridiculed. So you, as a person who got that idea and who is working on it, you just need to get it done. People laughed at Sachin and Binny Bansal. I mean, there is this story the author mentions about Binny. So Binny runs into some ex-classmate, ex-college mate or ex-colleague, I guess, and the person asks him, what are you doing? He's like, we sell books online. The phrase itself is so similar to me because people have same reactions for me, even though we are in totally different things. But like if I say I make videos about books online, who does that? So the same reaction came to him, like, who does that? And he's like, how do you make money? He's like, we are looking for venture capitalists, VC funding. And he's like, who will give you funding for selling books online? And look what happened with these people who still got it done, who still continued doing it while people were ridiculing them. I mean, these two people went to so many of their friends and colleagues who studied with them, who worked with them, who probably had the same thinking as them, but none of them saw any conviction in their idea. None of them believed in them. None of them thought that it was worth spending their time over. You know what? It also makes me think that a lot of our friends, your friends, my friends, could also be wanting to try some ridiculous idea, okay? Never ridicule them for that. Never tell them that their idea is stupid. If you cannot support them with your money, with your time, at least support them with your encouraging words, with your best wishes. They are free. Another lesson that I learned is very business oriented, but I still wanted to put it out here, and that is never ignore your KPIs. Key performance indicators while you are trying to take a strategic decision. So once you continue reading this book, you get to know that a lot of things change in these people, in Sachin and Binny, and the whole space changes. And there is this point when Sachin just starts taking decision on his whim, and the company is too big to have a decision maker like that. And it turns out to be catastrophic for Sachin himself, for his company, and for a lot of other people, a lot of stakeholders that were involved. So never ever ignore your KPIs while you're taking a decision. Even if you are the person who goes by your gut, keep the KPIs in mind. And yes, these are the list of lessons that I learned from Big Billion Startup by Mihir Dalal. This was a very different kind of video that I have made on this channel, and I loved making it. Just comment down below if you want me to continue making such videos on lessons that I learned from the non-fiction books I read or even from the fiction books I read, okay? Comment down below if you liked this video. I hope this is helpful to you, and do not forget to check out this book because this is really good, really inspiring, and I would definitely recommend you to pick up this book. Okay, so do check it out. I linked the Amazon link down below in the description, my affiliate link, so check it out. And yes, tell me what you think about it. Okay, and yes, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Before you go, please make sure you subscribe, share this video with your friends, because maybe it would be very helpful to them and encouraging to them, and it will help them in some manner. So do share this video, do like this video, do hit a thumbs up and subscribe. And yes, this is Manpreet signing off. I'll be back with another video very soon.